Good morning, Mr. Roy.
Good morning. I'm trying to make myself brighter. Getting there.
I wish everybody could hear.
Oh shit.
We keep politics out of the stream, but me and Roy can have a conversation, and we agree. We just get there completely different ways.
Oh yeah. He's taking the interstate. I'm taking the back roads. We'll get there.
But one thing about it, though, I think that our end game. This is what I think is great about myself and Roy's relationship here. We can have a conversation about politics, and we don't hate each other when we're done having the conversation about politics.
No.
Even though we get there different ways, because we actually have a conversation and we actually listen to each other, I wish everybody did, because America would be a lot better place if we could all just get along and be able to have a civil conversation and move on. And you know what? You believe what you believe. I believe what I believe. It doesn't make me less of a person or you less of a person.
Right.
That's my most frustrating part with politics today, is either you're for us or against us, and if you're against us, we hate you and hope you die. No.
Right. Name calling, all that stuff. It's like, don't get into all that.
It's just so, I mean, I've watched, you scroll through TikTok, you're going to see all these Charlie Kirk videos, and I agree with Charlie Kirk on some things, I don't on some other things. But one thing you can't argue the fact about Charlie Kirk is when people say you're dumb and you're a liar, you don't know what you're talking about, they're stupid. Yeah. Because the guy is probably more factual than anybody you're going to debate in your whole life. Yeah. He knows I don't know how he knows all the stuff he knows. It's amazing the stuff he knows. And you can fact check him, and guess what? He's going to be right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just the people that will get up there and just like, well, I mean, you're just a Nazi. Like, no. Do you even know what a Nazi is?
Right.
People
that term gets thrown around way too much.
Dude, it's so annoying. It's like, you don't know what a true Nazi is. A true Nazi is hatred for everybody, and that's not what we have here. So this is a very, very interesting start this morning,
I'd say. I mean, look at that candle.
So on this move up pre-market, all this whole move here, CBD was over right about here. CBD was over 10,000, almost 11,000. And this move up, CBD now has come all the way back down to 7,800. And the move started here, like up here, we were in the 7,000s. And then it's kind of holding 7,000s back up to around 8,000, holding 7,000s. It's really interesting. You got call premiums are ripping, put premiums are dying, but volume is really bad negative on Tide. Up here. Let's go and update this. Look at market Tide first. I haven't looked at market Tide yet. Market Tide's a little bit different. Your calls are coming down and your volume's coming down.
Mm.
Look at this. This is what's baffling me here on SPY.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. So what do we do when things don't make sense? We do absolutely nothing. I have scalped some this morning. I'm 262.50 up in 5 take profit trader pro accounts. That's money I can take out. I traded a combine this morning for $300 so far, just because I didn't want to trade any funded money there. I haven't touched the other combine. I have not touched these XFAs yet. And I'm going to be honest with you. There's a good chance I might not take a trade in these. I don't know yet. And there's a good chance I might not take another trade. Oh, and one thing I did learn, if you do have Top Step X, my bad, I'm getting off subject here. See this little indicator right here? This is my favorite indicator. This is Anchor VWAP.
Oh,
Where's the 830 candle? Right there. Put it on there. There's our anchor VWAP on the screen now for everybody to see, boys and girls. I did not know it was there in the indicators. I mean, in this side, in your drawing tools. So that makes it a little different. So now everybody can have anchored VWAP.
it's awesome.
Yeah, I sent this to Roy last night. Roy's like, googly eyes. What? Yes. And where did we reject so far this morning?
Anchored VWAP.
Anchored VWAP. So let's make sure we're on the right one there. Let's go to the 8th there. It's on that bit. Yep. Right there. We are exactly the same. Anchor VWAP. Well, it's not exactly the same. 52. Yeah, that's exactly the same on trading views it is there. So we have anchor VWAP. We see our big zone this morning. I thought we were going to have a little bit bigger zone, then it popped. So that just no longer counts anymore. So there's that. Roy, you talked about Navarro a lot. Musk on Navarro Tesla comments. He is a true. Oh, never mind. He is truly a moron.
TV lot on that one. Sorry.
I do not what Navarro said about Tesla. I probably didn't. Oh my God. Boy, so MOO imbalance has been negative plus 1 billion all week, like negative $1 billion. It came out this morning positive plus 1.14 billion.
Wow.
So for some reason, I don't know why. Some reason people are actually buying up on the dip now. So
yeah, no, they're bullish on the dip. I mean, I mean, the market got the hell beat out of it, no doubt about that.
Absolutely.
So you're gonna get a lot of positive.
I mean, look at this. Here's our low, right? 48.32. We are 440 points above that now.
Yesterday.
Yeah. Today's Tuesday.
It's a well, look, you got a 30-point SPY candle on that news yesterday.
So everybody just throw your so Michael asked, are we still in hard mode? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're not in any when your range is what's our range this morning?
We've
points?
got a 110 point range.
Yeah. No. Anything
Typically
over
we do a 30 to 40 point range.
Yeah, and even that's can be massive.
Yes.
I mean, 100 and it's just volatility, right? You could take 2 MES right now, and you could be down $100 in an instant. That's 10 points.
Yep. And if you want to, something else you can do if you want to. This is it's called a fixed range. So you can actually do this, and then if you zoom in, I got it turned off. You can actually look and see. See these? It's very shaded here, but you can see the actual where the volume came in. We got all that, so we can actually change color, but you can see the volume there on the candle all red, and it's not a ton of volume everywhere. It changes over here. I don't really like that a lot. People have always played volume profile, and I think volume profiles can be really good, but you also have to be really careful with volume profiles because they can skew things and they can skew your thinking a lot. So that's why you do not see. I have volume profile on my trading view charts, but I do not keep it here because, like, if I see a level here, and I'm gonna be honest with you, on a 5-minute level and looking at this range, these levels are not going to be as strong. You need to look back a 10-minute range, and you need to look for the whole session to see where your levels are at. So, like right here, you're looking at a level. I mean, they're way down here. So you've got a level around 51.78, which is 100 points down from here, which is going to be right here, somewhere close down the bottom down here. So, and then you got different levels, but you do have a gap between if it does break 52.20, which we've still got 50 points to go, you do have a volume gap all the way down to 51.84. So that is why, and that's on yesterday's and today's session. So that's why I keep that over here so I can see it, but I don't trade off of it, if that makes sense. It's just kind of an idea of, hey, this could be a level right here where these levels are at, this 51.88 level. Well, if you look at 51.88, it's going to be right around here. And look, what do you have right here? You have tops right here, right? So it's going to line up with the zone you would probably have anyway. So
I wanted to show the volume candles on TradingView. I actually haven't done these in a while. So these are your regular candles, but you can do what's called volume candles, and it'll make the candle fatter based on the volume. Obviously, that first candle will always be fat as is the open, but I think I'm going to play around with this today to see if we can gauge something here that you get a skinny long candle. Though it looks pretty bullish and can be pretty bullish, it still doesn't have the volume of the previous candle, and that can kind of help us gauge better entry. So I'm going to play around with that one for us today.
And something else, if you actually have Trade-O-Bait, there's a volume indicator on Trade-O-Bait called Bulls and Bears volume, and it shows each volume stick down here. Instead of being all the same color, it shows how much of that was green, how many was buyers, how many was sellers. So where you're looking here on this big sell-off right here, right? You see this little push up. So of course your volume is very little green at the bottom. So you didn't have hardly anybody step in when they were pushing this thing down. But then you go back to here where it's rebounded, it's the exact opposite. But you see it here, even though you had this pushback, you could tell that the volume was still there on the bull side, the buyer side. So you could tell a dip they were most likely going to buy. And Roy, there's one other thing that I think we need to look at, and it's kind of like candle by candle theory, but it's if you get a candle by candle, right? So we got this big engulfing candle here. It's got to be a big one. It can't be like a little one here. Like if this was an engulfing, this wouldn't work because it's not enough volume, not big enough. But this one, you got enough volume. It's a big enough candle. So as long as this candle here does not break the 50% retracement on it, right? If it breaks 50% retracement, don't look at it. But if it doesn't break the 50% retracement, you could have took along there, could have put an order at 75, and look, so far you would have got 11 points out of it. So it's just a different way of looking at candle by candle. But it's probably a safer way to look at a candle by candle.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how it works. I mean, the bigger time frames, of course, is going to work better, but that's just something I think to keep an eye on that, just I was trying to find one somewhere where it's like this one. This is a decent candle. Look, there was no volume on this candle, right? You want to see volume. This is pre-market. There was no volume, so it came back. It retraced right at 50%. So you wouldn't have went long again until it broke this high. And it never broke that high, so you never would have had an entry. If you would have got in, let's say on this one, all right, you got in here, you would have rode it up for now we're looking at 10, 13 points. You would have put your stop below this candle. So you would have entered at 74.50 and your stop would have been, you'd have had a 10-point stop pretty much. And it's built-in stops already there for you. So you don't have to look for a stop. You don't have to think about where your stop should be. Your stop is automatically the bottom of that previous candle. Just something to look at if you guys like that. I think it's a safer way to play a lot of things. Now, this candle's over with now. So this whole move, it might bounce back up, but you can't even look at this move anymore. You can't even think about that anymore because that candle's done. That candle by candle's done. This thesis is done. We're on to the next thesis now. Let's see if we get another opportunity that way. CVD's up to 9,200 now, so it is moving up. But it's not moving up fast. Volume has turned green on SPY. Let's look at holdings. Holdings is very much green, so we could have a trend day up. But one thing we have to be careful of in this environment we're in right now And Michael, why this is still hard mode is because if any news comes out negative at all, this thing tanks.
Yep.
So you've got to be news vigilant, and you've got to be vigilant on everything right now. I mean, there's just
be nimble. Yeah, you can't pick a side.
Yeah.
Which is why I've got the witness protection filter going on in my video.
See that. If we hold up here, I don't know. I'm thinking about taking a long off the top of this zone.
What's CBD?
9,400. I think we're going to enter. See if we can break that high up there, and then we're going to put that stop right there. And it might come back and stop us out. I just like how that zone is holding right this second. And like I said, we're going to keep our stop. If we move up in the profit, we'll move our stop up. If we break that high, if we break this previous candle's high, we want to move it to break even. That way the trade doesn't turn against us. That's where we're at. That's what we're looking at. So, and this thing might pop back down here. And if it does, it does. We'll have another opportunity to go long or short or whatever we see.
Yeah, I mean,
Tesla is the most vertically integrated U.S. auto manufacturer from Elon. Of course, he says that, and I'm not saying he's wrong.
Well, okay, not to get our political discussion that we had earlier today into the current deal, but for all you guys out there, please research a little bit of Peter Navarro, because his voice is very strong in the Trump administration. So if Elon is publicly going against Navarro, there is a bit of a bullish hope that some of those more extreme tariff trade policies, which is what Navarro kind of likes, could be tempered if Elon can get a message across to the right people within the administration. So I think that could be a reason. I'm stretching here. I mean, this is a stretch. This is not any more than this is not any more than a theory, but it's just a stretch. And yes, Lonnie, that just happened. So the passion that I have for this has gotten a lit. I went down a research rabbit hole and stuff. So I don't really want to open it up to any questions, but if you do have any, I don't mind answering.
There you go, $300.
There we go. But if Elon can buck the trend a bit here, you will get a push up higher.
Boys and girls, just so you know, that was simple, no stress, $300 trade. We have locked these accounts up for the day. Boom. Now time to move back to these. Hope you guys enjoy the show. Here all week. I cracked myself up there. I just laughed at my own joke. I absolutely did. Hope you all enjoy that. Come back tomorrow for more. Tidbits for money.
I want to see this close.
Roy's not getting my credit on my joke. I deserve there. By the way.
I know. I'm flustered a bit because I didn't take the long like I should have off the top of the zone. Good play though.
Thank you, sir. I just like the joke. The joke was better than the play.
I'll clip it for us later.
I do have one more beef. This is not a political beef. This is a actual Michael Patak Top Step beef. Top Step is all about promoting traders to be honest, good working, rightful traders, right?
Yes.
It pisses me off. He showed somebody that made $60,000 in a live account yesterday.
Yeah.
One day. That bothers me so bad. And not that that somebody made that much money. I'm happy the dude made that much money. But I think what Michael's doing, what Tap Step's doing, they're speaking out of both sides of their mouth there, because you have to gamble to make that much money. You have to go all full port. You got to go really big. And I think that's promoting bad habits for traders.
Yeah.
While myself and Roy sitting there trying to get everybody to scale back.
Yeah.
Don't promote somebody that's full porting.
Yeah.
That's my beef with that. Howie, I can always Howie gets my jokes. Howie gets my jokes. Howie, we're gonna swap you and Roy out, just so you know. I hope you have better life.
You can't have that happen because then I'll never get my gig back.
You what?
I said if that happens, I'll never get my gig back.
Howie replaced neither one of us when neither one of us get our gig back. So.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the power of copy trading. Can be good, can be bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at my take profit trader, I copy trade that bad boy. 5 accounts, 5 pro accounts. I can take money out of them. And $262.50. Well, that's what, a $1,300 day or so, just in one firm. You add the $600 over here. Guess what? Hell, I'm right at down my $1,000 goal for the day. I mean, my $2,000 goal. My goal used to be 1,000. I told Roy we got to change that because we've been making more. One thing we got to remember though, we can't be. Ooh, U.S. Trade Representative testifies before the Senate panel today.
Oh,
you got Jamison Greer testifying.
I did not have that on the docket.
I did not either. It just popped up on Financial Juice. Oh, it's Greer. Greer testifies to Congress. Jamison Greer testifies to Congress. This is a big one, boys and girls. This is a big one. Might be best not to trade while he's on. I don't know. I'm not. I'm iffy on this one. I'm iffy on this one. All right. Well, just so you know, I am now $316.25 up in Take Profit Trader, and I am done with them for the day. I have hit $2,000 overall for the day.
Lovely.
That actually I got in that trade and was in it less than 5 seconds.
Lovely.
I was only trying to get enough to get over $300. I'm over $300, so how's everybody else doing today? I can now take payouts, and in 4 of these accounts, I can take and leave a decent buffer. I can take $1,000 in 4 of these accounts now if I want to. So I could withdraw $4,000 whenever it updates, which would be tomorrow. I did tell Roy what you're probably going to see me doing with them is trade them Monday through Thursday and then start requesting a payout on Friday, just not trading them at all on Friday. Let the payout go through. One good thing about Take Profit Trader is once they approve your payout, it moves to your wallet. It's in your bank account within seconds. If you got to move it to your wallet, and then from your wallet, you move it to your bank. So it's 2 steps, extra step you got to go through. But once it gets to that wallet, you just go and hit that proceed button, click your account, and it's got any accounts you have linked to it. You can do PayPal, you can do a checking account, you can do a savings account, you can do Wise, international accounts, whatever you got to do. There it is. Boom, shakalaka. I should have held this because I could have been $500 a day in them, but you know what? We are not greedy. We are happy. CBD is 9,000. All my funded accounts are done for the day. So
beautiful.
All funded is done. Boy, look at that zone there, Roy. If I would have taken it here again, that's 20 points. Woo, Lord have mercy. But like I said, if Greer is speaking now, you do have to be careful. I might should I pull him up?
Yeah, pull him up.
Roy, you want to cover? You are a Bollinger Band expert with the bands on VWAP. So Tell him how you do it and how I do it. We do it differently.
Right. Yeah. All right. So I'll show you. I mean, we are this green line here at the top is the Bollinger Band. This blue line is VWAP, and this bottom green line is the top Bollinger Band. So I use all three. I mean, whenever you get extended outside of the Bollinger Band, you gotta. It is good to just kind of be a bit cautious that a play can come back, can rip up, but it does tend to retest that top Bollinger Band throughout. So these are just good guardrails. Again, it's not necessarily exact science that you're going to get all the way back up there, but you do get, or back down, but you do get some reactions to it. So for me, I like them, especially when they coincide with other EMAs, right? So right here we have the 8 EMA on the 10-minute. Here's your 5-minute, so you can see your bounce off the orb high was very nice. It also coincided with the top Bollinger Band. Well, actually a little bit below it. So, like I said, I like them. I think they're probably more powerful on the daily charts. So go to the daily chart. I don't know if I actually have it on. Yeah, I don't have VWAP on here. Let me do. Where's my settings? There's settings. Hold on 1 second.
And I don't use them. And kind of for the reason that Roy said there, because I think that we don't trade off the daily, really. So we're not looking at them off the daily. It would be off. If I was like doing long-term stuff, yes, I could look at them, but I don't think it benefits me on this. So
yeah, and I have to adjust my settings because I actually took them off because I haven't really been doing the daily stuff. But going back to like the hourly, for example, a little bit longer term chart, you have, where'd it go? I messed up all my stuff. And below. Right, so there's your blue VWAP coming in, and there's your very thin green Bollinger. So you see this first candle is going to have a big volume because it is the first hour. So open always brings the volume.
Less time than it took to.
Sorry.
You're good.
I just pulled that up.
So
right now you just got people, no questions are being asked. They're doing their opening statements and stuff. So I don't need to hear all that. Go ahead, bro. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, to me, I like it. I like guardrails. Monty likes a clean chart. He doesn't like to get a bit messy on his charts, but he also doesn't like too many indicators conflicting with one another because there are indicators that work for him, and that's the ones he's sticking with. So you probably won't see it on Monty's chart as much as you'll see it on my chart.
Yeah, that's what I think everybody should do that. Whatever works for you, right? So just because I don't use it, I don't think that Roy shouldn't use it, is my thought there. If Roy finds it useful, then by all means use what's useful for you. And I'm gonna tell each one of you. And let's just look at this real quick.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow is right. It's could have a very good trend day today here, boys and girls, but you know, you never know what could happen. And by the way, my son should be coming down here any minute. So he's probably gonna be leaving. So I will probably have to cut off for a minute because he's got to go to school, and I can't just let him go by and not talk to him and hug him and tell your kids you love them every day, right?
Exactly.
Speaking of the devil, here he comes. So I'll be right back.
All right. Let me go on to my chart. We'll take a look at ES. You see it's kind of having
I know.
Get your drink. Love you, buddy.
Love you.
See you later.
Mute him. Unmute him. Then so you got a hanging man here on the wick up. You're pushing thoughts on the orb. Pushing higher. So let me show you the orb. So we do a 15-minute orb opening range. This is the high. This is the low. Orb is an amazing tool. You should always have the orb, in my opinion, on your charts. I have mine pre-drawn. It's orb 5, I think it's called, on TradingView. Because as you can see, right, we broke above the orb. We tested it, bounced, then got close to testing it and bounced. So you have a lot of reactions to it right now. Currently, the market is now kind of struggling with it's battling a psych level 5,300, which let's see where that falls into on SPX 52.56, and SPY is where's SPY? Where are you, SPY? Did I get rid of SPY? Where'd you go? There it is, 523. So 524 on SPY, probably pushing up closer to 525. Manuel Scott, are the wicks included in the orb? Yes, they are included in the orb. So as you can see on this particular one, I don't know if you guys see that on the chart, but the top of this wick is the high and the bottom of this wick is the low. So this is a pretty good range given the market that we've been in is only 45 points. Normally your orb is about 15 points or so. But this is a nice big range to work through. So you want to use that. So as we're above the orb, it is a bullish move. And as you can see, this 8 is pushing up. This Bollinger Band is pushing up. The VWAP is pushing up. All your EMAs are pushing up. So this is showcasing that the market wants to push higher or is pushing higher. And as you see, we broke 5,300. We're now approaching, since Monty's not on the channel, I can say this without problem, this 5-day moving average, which is at 5,330. My theory with the 5-day moving average has always been it's kind of a place of safety for the market. It tends to gravitate to that area when uncertainty is coming. There's definitely uncertainty at the end of today, so you could see the market kind of hang out around that area. But we got to 53.05 and rejected hard, so we're just keeping an eye on this candle. Currently, this 10-minute candle is showing a little bit of the signs of a reversal candle, so you need a little bit more push up from it to keep this trend going. But the volume is still got a minute, so you can push higher, but the volume is coming in a little bit lower than the previous candle. But one good thing is it didn't so far break below the previous candle, so you are getting continued push, and every little dip looks like it's getting bought as people are getting a little bit more confident in today's intraday move. But I have this zone. This is an old zone from a previous day that just so happens to be there. 53.22 is the top of that zone, which seemed to be resistance for that day long ago. I'm not sure when. And then your 53.30 is your 5-day moving average. So still about 30 points away from that. As you see, we are battling that 5,300 level. Can't quite get over it. So the last 5 seconds of this candle, see if it can hold green. It cannot. Oh, closed right on it. So an indecision candle here, which makes sense as we are close to 5,300. So you kind of sit back and wait to see what it wants to do. It could come down, retest this 8 at, the 8 is a long way away on the 10. What is it on the 5? The 5 is at 52.81, so that's a long way away from here, not in 12 points. So you could see this just kind of grind up here, wait for the 8 to push up, and then make a move higher, or it could just get some selling, go right to the 8, and then decide what it wants to do. So you're just kind of in no man's land right now. So just take it slow. No need to rush. But yeah, that top right now it seems to be that 5305 area. So, and well, just 10 points away, which 10 points in this market has been back and forth, round and around, up and down. Looking across the board, big green day across the board on all Mag 7. You got Apple up 4.5%, Nvidia up 7.7%, Microsoft up 4.5%, 4.3%, Google up 3.55%, Amazon 4.5%, Meta up 5%, Tesla up 6.8%, testing 250 now, Netflix up 5%, Bitcoin up 1%, testing 80,000, Solana up 3.5% back at 110. So no doubt about it, this is a bullish start to the day. Big green day, almost 4% on the index. That's huge. So how much more? You're probably getting short covering. You're probably getting buying. You're getting a good mixture of everything. Tide-wise is in pretty good shape. I don't have a screen over here with Tide. Let me see if I can get it over here for you guys.
Hello, I'm back.
Hello. So here's Tide, and you see the volume kick up. You got your puts. It's had a little tick up. Now it's kind of flattening out. Calls are dropping a little bit. Market is pushing higher. So we are at that 5,300, which seems to be a little bit of resistance so far.
Or I'm assuming you covered that, right?
SPY is free on TOS. Yes,
I covered that.
Yeah.
Yes, I did not know it was free on Thinkorswim now. I hate Thinkorswim now. So. But that is they change it in and out. Used to it was free in Thinkorswim all the time, and then they decided to start moving other things in and out. But if it is free in Thinkorswim, if you do have Thinkorswim, or if you do not have Bookmount, all you have to do is message support that you would like access to Bookmount, and you will get it. So you can try it out there. It is completely different than what I use, just so you know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of similarities. You can see the same, like you can see the heat map and stuff, but mine is a lot more detailed because I pay a hell of a lot more for mine than
right.
And I mean, we're a good thing. Yeah, and how he says it, no idea when they would change to something else because once Schwab took over, they decided they're going to start changing this shit because Schwab sucks. So I will die on that hill, just so you know. Let's see. All right, let's see what we're seeing here. How we want to go to live. You got Greer speaking now.
Liquefied natural gas and other resources, as opposed to being dependent on other countries, they may not be as.
Wow, he does not look very smart.
Will go into these.
Hey, a retest of what is that? The high? What is yellow? That last. Oh,
I gotta look every time because I don't know. Top step levels. Let's go to top step levels. Yellow is yesterday's high.
Yeah.
So if you look yesterday's high, then you have where the hell's settlement at? Wow, settlement's way down here. Woo. Didn't realize settlement was that low.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's settlement. This is the line I drew. That's also going to be your. Where's your low a day?
Basically, we're just getting Q piled up. Oh,
Howie, yes. Schwab sucks. Look, you tell old lad if we're going to hear him in the background, he's got to make an appearance.
We need to close the door for him. Let's see. Pushing higher. Testing the 8.
Tariff, by the way, though. Spicy. I just see subtitles over here. I'm gonna be honest, you guys. on this one, it would be really hard for me to sit there and just listen to him speak nonstop. But good thing we have financial juice because we got highlights of it. The administration wants more market access for agriculture. That's not a bad thing. I've had several conversations with Japanese officials in the past week. That's actually another good thing since me and Roy already talked about it, that Japan owns the majority of our debt. If you did not know that, now you do. They own $1 trillion of our debt. A little over $1 trillion, but it rounds. So Japan owns 700. I mean, China owns 789 billion. To compare the two.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh wait, we might need to listen to this.
We're disappointed by this. It's not
Talking about
surprising, but we are certainly disappointed by that.
And now you're engaged to, again, see if we can get compliance.
We will see, right? The Chinese obviously have agency in this. It's not just a matter of U.S. policy. We, of course, welcome and we hope that foreign countries will change their practices to make sure that they're fair. And we look forward to continue to monitor that situation.
Thank you. The administration.
What she just said is that the tariffs will go into effect in China tonight.
Yeah.
Me and Roy talked about that earlier. This is not political, but we both believe that the tariffs will go into effect. 107% tariffs on Chinese stuff overnight. I think that it is a negotiation tool, but I also think they're going to let it go so they can. They think it's going to put a hurry on China. So by going on implementing it, then you're going to see China back down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if China has the mental merit to back down, to be honest with you. I think of China. You remember back in the old days, the Japanese kamikaze pilots, they were there just to kill themselves, right? For their country.
Right.
I feel like that's China. Like, we will blow this damn thing up before we get in.
Yeah, and you're getting kind of back into that ideology world, right? Whoa.
He said something. And it was not, it triggered an algo, but obviously he was triggered an algo long too. So
Yeah, gobbled that up. And they said, nope, we're not going low. We're not going lower today, gents.
I mean, if you look back over, just look at that.
Yeah.
Calls rising, puts falling, volume rising, holdings. I mean, you got your call premiums dropping some, put premiums, but your volume's still crazy. Let's look at general market tide, same story. I mean, Roy, when's the last time we've had all three speaking together?
Yeah. No, they're not only speaking, they're yelling.
This is interesting. So SPY, you got your net put premiums are in charge of SPY, but look at NVIDIA here. Look at Palantir, look at Apple, Meta, IWM. It's been on the chart. Google, Microsoft, Netflix. You're seeing a lot of Mag 7 on here, which typically you don't always see a ton of Mag 7. You'll see your crazy one-offs. But that's pretty, I think that's pretty telling that your Mag 7 is controlling things now. He'd say higher reciprocal tariffs will go into effect tomorrow, which would be tonight at midnight, just so you know. So there is that. Let's go back to SPY Tide, see where we're at. Yep, same old song and dance. That's holdings. Let's go to SPY. There you go. Yep. You are getting a dip in your call premiums, the slightest ever dip in your volume. So I'm assuming we're seeing a slight dip. Yep, right here in your chart. So, I mean, I really wish he was not speaking today.
Yeah.
Because I don't like trading news, and when you're trading with somebody speaking, you're trading news because anything could happen. He could say anything that could rip the market or could tank the market any second. And they have proven that they give zero shits about the market.
Right.
Let's see what how I say here. I have some projects that I've bid, and some of the component vendors are already warning us about price instability due to tariffs. Makes it hard to bid and do business. Yes, absolutely. I've got a good buddy who is a general manager at a car lot here in town. You can imagine what they're going through right now with all the. It's actually a Toyota Ford dealership, so they get a little bit of both sides of it. And he said they're having pretty much daily meetings with his sales team, like, "Hey guys," because they're scared to death, and they should be. And he's trying to, get them to focus on, like, "Hey, just focus on what we've got here now, what we can control. We've got these cars. This is our prices. Let's work on selling these cars. Don't worry about what's happening a week from now or a month from now, just because we can't control what's going to happen there." I think that's a good saying for everybody. Just kind of chill out, right? Do what you can control, what you can control at the second. This is not going to you, Howie, because your business is different because you depend on a lot of other stuff. So, and I get their point, and I understand where he's coming from on that. He's trying to calm the ship, right? So it's scary times for these guys. It's, we trade it and we can make money if the market goes up or the market goes down. But those guys, they are dependent on people looking at 401ks. Like, "Hey, my 401k is taking a $200,000 hit. I can't buy a car right now."
Right.
Stuff like that. So they have a lot more to look at. We're in and out of trade so quick. It really doesn't matter to us which way we're going as long as we get a direction.
Right.
But I tend to forget. Talking to him kind of gave me a perspective. It reminded me of, hey, you know what? He's right. You got to think about everybody else something. Because I want to be honest. My long term is taking a hit, and I could care less if taking a hit. I'm buying more. I've said it a million times. If you liked NVIDIA at 140, you should love it at 100. And if it goes below, you should love it even more if it goes below 100.
Yeah.
I was talking to a guy who's actually one of my good friends, is a financial advisor. And he's like, "Yeah," he said, "I'm taking a hit, but I'm looking at this as a buying opportunity. And I'm telling my people this is a great buying opportunity to get into more stuff." And I think he's absolutely right. Like, do I think that we've bottomed for sure? Who knows? You're not going to sit here and you're not going to get me to predict a bottom or predict a top. All I do know is the market is designed to do one thing, and that's to go up. And as long as you put your money in businesses that are blue chip, solid companies that are not going to go bankrupt tomorrow, your Mag 7s of the world, right? If you put all your money in the Mag 7, or you put your money in SPY or QQQ or one of those ETFs like that, 5 years from now, you're going to look up and the market's going to be up, and you're going to be up on your positions. It's my opinion. It's taken me a long time to be able to look at my long-term account and not just sell shit because I'm down. That's the scalper me wants to cut it because we're at a certain level. The investor in me has learned to turn that scalping part off and be like, "Hey, this is a great buying opportunity. Average down. Don't go one. If you're doing long term, never go full position right off the bat, right? Don't let FOMO get into it where, oh man, this thing's just gonna keep going. I'm missing out. Buying at levels, whether it's 10%, 25% of what you want your total to be. Start there, and then when you have these dips and you have money sitting there, I had $100,000 sitting there ready to spend, and I still got some money still sitting there. I hadn't used all of it to start buying these companies, the Teslas, the NVIDIAs, the Apples. Even you go out some other long-term stuff, some SoFis and stuff like that, where, hey, I'm going to buy these because I think eventually SoFi, if you hadn't looked at SoFi, look at SoFi, because every young person in America right now is going to SoFi. There's a reason. They give really good rate on returns. They are really good on their loan programs to people. They've got a lot going for them, I think, long term, where SoFi is going to be a big player in the banking industry one day. They're a big player now, but I think they're going to be a lot bigger player. I think you're going to look at them as you look at JP Morgan, Bank of America, these bigger banks. Eventually, I think SoFi will be on that level with them. So every time SoFi drops, guess what I'm doing? I'm buying more SoFi. And I think it's personally, I think it's a good investment. It's not financial advice. I'm not giving financial advice. I'm just saying that I didn't go all in at once, and I'm slowly but surely getting myself in there. And we'll have a full port before long of everything, a good mix of stuff. Not everything's going to be in just the Mag 7. Not everything's going to be in banking or whatever. You got to have a mixed portfolio, in my opinion. But if you do this, you set yourself up and you set your family up down the road, 10, 15 years down the road. And that's what you got to look at when you're investing. Completely different than what we do here, right? What we're doing here, we're looking for instant gratification. When you are trading long term, you cannot look for instant gratification. You have to look for the long term. Hey, where do I think this thing can go? And I can show you a SoFi chart. I've got this damn thing charted out where I think we could go. And I think we could get, $50, $60 a share on SoFi. Guess what? If I'm in at $10 and it goes to $50, I just made a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
So that's my point. Damn it, y'all got me on a rant without even trying to get me on a rant again. So
holding this 8 on the 5 minute, pretty good.
It is.
Your 10 minute.
Down a little more to re-enter. What are you saying? The 10-minute showing room?
Well, it's kind of a low volume candle so far. I mean, still got 2 minutes left, but
yeah, unless they come in late, this is not going to be a good volume candle on that one at all. And you can see the volume decrease has come on this last candle, by the way. So the first part of the candle had decent volume on the 10-minute. This last part has had nothing as why. So now you're seeing they're pulling back. If it comes down to here, I'm probably going to take a long here. I don't like how puts are rising, but volume's still holding up. They're looking for buyers is what they're looking for. So you'll see a push down. You see it failed up here. This is a concern. So watch this. It jumped up. You've had 1, 2, 3 failures up here off this high, right? It's at above 5,300. All right. Well, now you're getting failures down. So you're seeing when they push it back down, you're having buyers step in. So in order for this thing to break, you got to have buyers step in at this 53 level pretty much. So a safe play would probably be to wait for that 5,300 break and retest, but you got to be careful. Like I said, we got Greer speaking. He can say any damn thing at any second. This market just tanks all the way down to the bottom. It's that simple where we're at right now. So. Snoop is in Louisiana says, I hope I see an alligator today. Oh my gosh. Well, one, tell me where you're at in Louisiana, and I can tell you where to go see an alligator. How about that?
Yeah, the close of this 10-minute candle has been pretty good. 13
volume's still lower though.
Yeah, so I don't know if you see it fade.
So it actually came down. It came down to, that's going to be our orb high about right here, right? Where it bounced off of.
So orb high is actually 52.75. So it's still got a ways.
Oh, sorry. Never mind. So, yeah, close. I was on the wrong candle. This candle here, so which came down to 77.25. So it came within a couple points of hitting that orb high.
Yeah.
So, not surprised. You're not getting. We're gonna have to get this breakout, and this might be the time where does it because we're going to enter and we're going to put our stop below, right here on this, right below this anchor VWAP. So we're going to do a little more and see if we can get a break. Let's look left. Probably about right there. So that would put us at about an $800 trade, $900 trade if we can get there. It's a 2-to-1 almost. That's perfect. We'll let that ride. And it might come all the way back down to here. That's why I put my stop down below there. This is a combine too, so I do tend to take a little more risk on a combine than I would an XFA. So definitely don't just follow me blindly on this trade. You got orders sitting down here. There's not really a ton of orders anywhere, to be honest with you. There's nothing really to the low side there. I mean, I'm looking from here all the way down to 50, and there's no triple digit orders at all. You just have some pop up, but they're doing their shit where they did yesterday. And when I say those orders would pop in and pull right back out, and pop in and pull right back out. Mm-hmm. Every time this thing starts to come down, they pop them in, and as soon as it stops, they pull them right back out. But you do have orders. You got 100 orders sitting at 5,300. You got 100 orders sitting at 5,305. And then your next orders are going to be 130 orders sitting at 5,325 to the upside. They just pull those 200 orders back to the low side again. It's coming back down to it. And they just pull them back out again. So damn annoying. Spoof orders are the most annoying thing you could ever see on here. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I hate them with a passion. I wish I could find who does this and I would punch them square in the nose. I don't condone violence, but I would beat the shit out of somebody over these because they're horrible.
Your spy calls are pushing higher.
CBD was going up. Now it's coming back down some, man. This thing might take me out here. I'm going to be honest. You had your call premiums just drop off pretty hard here. So,
yeah.
CBD's coming back up a bit.
You're at your orb high, which is also the top of the zone, right?
Crazy how that works, isn't it?
Yep. So you'd want to see reaction or push up from here.
Let's put it below the 21. If it breaks the 21, we'll cut it, but it might test that 21, and that could be the balance. And it could come, look, this thing could work all the way back down.
Right. And then calls are dropping, puts are rising.
Anchor VWAP might hold. CVD has come all the way. It was 80, got to 88. Now it's back to 82. 83 is going back up on this little move down now. 83, 84. This probably should have been the entry right here. But, you know, shits and giggles, right? Oh, you saw it. You're going to break right down there. Well, guess what? You can't win them all, and this is not a funded account. My funded accounts are all locked up. Very, very good green. So no skin off my nose. Actually, we hadn't done it in this other one. We are going to take a long here on this other one now. If we get back up to the high.
I don't know. You got a candle by candle the short side on the 5 minute. You could have with increased volume. So you could have a retest of the orb high and a rejection.
You very well could, yes. Oh, we just had a big tank of CBD. So this goes back to my thing. Is he saying something here that's bringing the market down? That's the one thing you have to worry about. Technical analysis means shit when somebody's speaking.
Right.
Let's click over and see what he's saying. First thing I see was our economic concern. I don't like that.
Whoa.
Urgency is another thing he's saying.
Something popping it.
He's saying the Trump administration takes all this into effect, and they are definitely paying attention. But it's not enough to pop it through. You had algo, whatever he said there, popped the algo, and then it didn't stay yet. So, and this is going to be annoying because we got stopped out over here, and this one, $244 down. We're not going to enter another trade there on this one yet. We're going to wait and see how this plays out. I don't like this move. I don't like SPY Tide. It's kind of puts you going up. Volume is trending ever so slightly down. So CVD has gone all the way back to 8,400 though. It did hit 79 and it's popping back up. Here's somebody cutting grass too. I love it. Love it. Oh yeah, back to 8,000 CVD. It's coming back down now, even though everything else is kind of taking a little break. Let's see. Mexico's president, the majority of directors of auto plants in Mexico said that as of now, they have no plans to move their factories.
Oh,
The biggest issue I've ever had was, I think when Clinton was office, when they did the NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement.
mm-hmm.
My family was actually impacted negatively by that because I saw it firsthand. My mom worked at a factory in our town we grew up in. And as soon as that was announced, within a month, the factory she worked at had closed down and moved to Mexico.
Mm.
And I remember listening to Clinton talk about how this is great for America, how much business it was going to bring into America. Well, the only thing it did is pretty much just take companies out of America and move them to Mexico and Canada. Yeah. Oh, I don't know what they're saying. They're saying something's not good.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't like this move. CBD came all the way down to 7,000. Roy, you got a question on how do you trade order lines or only above and below zones? There's no rush, but we do have time, so feel free to answer.
So you trade and the orb lines are only above and below zones. So great question. This is where you kind of have a combination of skills. So Monty's chart is actually really good to showcase this. So you have the zone that just so happens to coincide with the orb high. So what you would do there is you would look and say, okay, can it hold the orb high? Well, the fact that it couldn't hold the orb high so far, we've had a close below it, we've had a retest and a failure. Now, you could, if you're wanting to, you could take a short here, but then it goes back to kind of your rule set, right? So one of our rule sets, me and Monty do, is we don't really look for shorts above VWAP. Now, unfortunately, this move this morning has kind of skewed VWAP a bit. So now you're looking at, okay, we're going to be in between the orb. It's kind of a no trade zone, realistically. You would not be able to use the orb strategy because there's nothing telling you that just because it broke down from the orb high that it's going to test the orb low, right? That just means that now we're in a chop range. So the orb identifies a potential area to where we could just consolidate and chop around, which is the exact spot you don't want to be in when you're trading. So now, of course, right, you've got momentum to the downside here. If you're in a short, you're playing a candle by candle to the short side. So you're using that strategy as much as you're not really focused on the orb side of it. But you would be looking to take profits on your short since you're in the orb, if you will, here. I don't know if that answers your question, but it's kind of like if you have a consolidated orb or a small orb, it's nice because that consolidation area is not as big. But when you have big ones like we've been having, because the moves have been so violent, it makes it tough. So as you can see here, we've broken under the orb, but now you're getting a bullish, or you're getting buying right here in the middle. So think of the orb area as no man's land. You don't actually know what's going to happen. So I guess to answer your question is I tend to try to avoid trading within this zone if I can. However, if I'm in a short, like let's say I shorted from the top there, I would be looking aggressively to take profits here in this zone and play it, candle by candle, which I never do. It's really difficult to play candle by candle, like move the stop to the candles once you hit a certain profit threshold. But yeah, that's kind of my
One
thesis.
thing you can do is you can look at this as your range, right? So
Yeah.
if we do let's say we get stuck in here and we're just bouncing back and forth. A lot of times say that, hey, sideways trading is a harder way of trading because you have to be so precise with it, but it will give you a good range. So if this is the range it wants to stay, you can see it broke out of this range, now it's back in this range. If it stays in this range, you can look for shorts, look for longs, back and forth. You got to be really quick, though, to take profit because you see here, it could get in a range and it could bounce here and go back up. So it's never a bad thing to have a 50% rule in your orb. So
Yeah.
a lot of times your 50% rule is that if it hits 50% retracement of the orb, it's going to bounce whichever opposite way it was going to look at. It's a lot of different things to look at when you're doing this. We've taken 2 bad trades in a row. So I'm in no rush to do anything else.
Spy Tide puts her rep in higher, so I think people are starting to. Trump has been clear that he won't do tariff exemptions in the near term, so I think people are starting to kind of figure out that there's not going to be a tariff resolution anytime soon.
This kind of goes back to what we just said, right? That he could say anything that could make this market come down. Well, saying that is bringing fear. People were hopeful. Well, he's speaking now. They're bringing fear back in the market. So what's happening? It's coming down. So,
and your technical analysis goes out the window, like Monty said. So as cool as cool as these technical indicators are, there are just moments in time where you're going to have to increase your technical indicator to longer term time frame charts for levels and EMAs because a fundamental event always trumps a technical event.
Yep. That's why I wish he was not talking today. My gosh.
Yeah. So to kind of piggyback on that, you have three parts of the market. You have fundamentals, which are news, data, earnings, those types of things. You have technicals, which is obviously what we concentrate here with the EMAs, your orbs, your zones. And then you have the mechanicals, which was always a missing piece for me and Monty until we found unusual whales market tide. So that mechanicals are kind of your options flows of they're buying puts, they're buying calls, the volumes increase there. So there's always a theme to the day or theme to the time frame, right? It's a technical day, it's a fundamental day, or it's a mechanical day.
Yeah.
And right now, since this person is testifying, it's a fundamental event right now. So that takes the precedence. And this tariff stuff has been kind of more of a lingering fundamental event than we would like as technical traders, which is why we've scaled way down. Because if you don't scale down, you're going to get blown up pretty quick.
And I'm going to be honest with you guys today, looking at book mount, there are so few orders. And the ones that are here, you've got probably 1,000+ orders popping in and out of the market nonstop.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying pop in and out of the market like around price. Like you'll have 500 orders pop up here, then go away, then 500 orders pop down here and go away. And they're happening multiple back and forth nonstop. So what that's telling me is that algos are catching words that he's saying, and they're popping them in and out nonstop. All what he's doing. That's what it is. These are really not spoof orders here. These are orders that are, I think, algo orders that are picking up on words that they are using in this hearing.
Yeah.
That's why, and you can't trade that shit. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
What I'm looking at here, I pride myself on being able to read book map really well. And I'm looking at the 5267 level, and I've had 357 orders pop and leave, 112 orders just pop and leave, 392 just orders just pop and leave, 267, 226, 422. This is how quick they're coming in and out.
Yeah.
So you can't look at book map at these levels right now. It's like, oh, well, there's a level I think we can get to, because these orders are just bouncing every damn where.
Michael, this is a great statement. Absolutely. It is. You can test the strategies, you can use it. And really, this is a great week to practice volatility trading on a practice account or a combine or something that's kind of low risk. But yeah, because whatever you say here, you could be like, oh, yeah, this technical strategy worked out, when you really actually was. Walter Bloomberg tweeted out a tweet that made a 300-point candle on ES, and it's not because of your level found support. Right?
I can take my chart right now and I can draw a bunch of random levels in here that means absolutely nothing. And guess what? Some of these are going to show support and some of these are going to show resistance, and it's all going to be by chance.
Yeah.
What we try to do is we try to put this stuff out there, and then I think most of the time, sometimes we have trouble reading it, but most of the time we can read the market, not just off technical analysis. We get a feel of the market. Like right now, I'm thinking that we come back, and if we break this 50, we're going to test VWAP, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we break that VWAP, I would be 100% okay thinking that we go to that 200. And if you break that 200, I'd be 100% okay thinking that we're going to the bottom of the zone. That is TA, but that's also us reading the market as, hey, it's got to break this first before we can do this. There's the 50 break. Now let's see if it gets a hold. Here's your orb low break. If it breaks the orb low, I mean, we've got a lot of stuff to work through here. So I don't think you can just take a short here. But I'm going to tell you, if we get a close below VWAP, I'm probably going to look for a short down to here.
Yeah. I mean,
and that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying I think we do a good job of being able to read the market. And this comes from just a lot of practice. Did I read the market wrong up here? Absolutely. But also, you got somebody speaking. So if he wasn't speaking, I could have been reading the market really well. I don't know. You never know, right? But now we just got to wait to see. I want to see these two break, because these three lines right here, this blue line, this orb low, this pink line, which is the 50. These are really big psych levels in the market when you're trading it. You'll see a lot of people, and what you got to figure out is where the algos are putting their stops at and their orders at, right? Are they putting them at the 50? Are they putting them in the orb low? Are they putting them in VWAP? Are they putting them at the 200? Are they putting them at low a day? So much stuff to look at, and that's why we can all be right and all be wrong all at the same time.
Yeah, and as tempting as it is to go short, don't forget that we were at 53.05 and now we're at 52.35. So that was a 70-point move. So it's
CBD's come down to 5,600. It was 7,800. So
this is kind of telling me the story. This is a bit obnoxious. I mean, your puts are just ripping, and they're now starting to eat into that volume. Yes. So, again, I'm not trying to speculate on anything, but you've got potentially, the market starting to realize that maybe this tariff resolution is not going to happen today. It could for certain countries, of course, but
yeah.
But we're back above the 50.
We are news cycle traders now.
Yeah, lovely. The
I'm gonna
worst.
sell 85 billion 4-week bills tomorrow, just so you know. To settle on the 15th, that's actually a lot of bills they're selling there. So 85 billion. Do.
Gold holding above 3,000. It's at 3,021. VIX 39.68, getting wrecked.
Look, I saw an idiot yesterday, and I'm gonna go on and say this. I saw a guy come out and say, if you're putting your money in the stock market, not buying gold and silver right now, you're a moron. And I'm like, if you are buying gold and silver at these prices, you're a moron. Because one thing's for certain, they're not going to hold these prices. It's not sustainable to hold these gold prices where they're at right now.
Yeah.
The economy will collapse if they hold these gold prices. Because I don't know if you realize what all, like everything all electronics has gold in it. Everything, your watches, your phones, all that, it has fine traces of gold, a lot of gold. Oh goodness, what is it? Oh, okay, never mind. Whew. Federal Reserve Board announces termination of enforcement action with former employees of the Marathon Bank. When I saw termination, it kind of scared me.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh shit, who done got fired? But that's a big deal. I thought it could have been. Ugh. But yes, gold cannot be sustained forever with these gold prices. I mean, you're looking at record highs of gold. Do that, guys. Really do wish. I don't know if you remember a couple years ago, me, you, and Snoop talking about buying real gold.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've got a little bit. I don't have enough to do anything with, but I wish I'd have bought a lot more.
I'll tell
I would
you.
be selling the piss out of it right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's 50% move in gold, I think, since we talked about it. Maybe even 100% at some point. I mean, I know it was between 50% and 100%. So we'll call it 70%. We were on it. Gain on gold, by the way.
It was a couple of days ago they were talking about it's a good time to buy gold where I saw that. So if you did buy gold, then guess what? You're losing money on gold.
Yeah, well, and you got to be careful. Some of these things, guys. Wow.
I'm gonna show you one thing about gold, though. Here's your biggest deal about gold. What does gold normally do? Pops, drops, pops, drops, pops, drops. It finally broke out of this. We're talking about a 4-year trend.
Mm-hmm.
Anything above, I would say this is not sustainable in my eyes. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you think about it, Roy. I just don't think anything above 22, 21 is sustainable in gold. We're talking about years investment. I'm not talking about short-term stuff. Yeah, can you trade it short-term? Absolutely. But I just don't. That's a lot, man. That's a lot.
Yeah, but if you are investing in gold, it's kind of this forever deal. You're always gonna hold. It's kind of like Bitcoin. People that buy Bitcoin aren't necessarily looking to sell it anytime. They'll just buy it, and then if it goes down, they'll just buy more. The Michael Saylor strategy.
There you go, Howie. Howie said his physical gold cost base is about $1,250 on average. That's great.
Nice.
And then he says people that push for a safety hedge need to go look at every crash we've had from 2000s. Absolutely.
Yeah, gold drops, oil drops, everything drops.
A lot of people that push for, if you look at this and you look at these portfolios of these people, they have not been doing this a long time. They have no idea of the history of what actually happens. One thing that you can almost be certain by is history repeats itself.
Yeah.
Over and over again. We were on this bullish run in the market for a while, and everybody was just happy and giddy, and the market only goes up. And you had the naysayers on Twitter who were screaming now they were right because it came down. Well, guess what? Both sides, a broke clock is going to be right twice a day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. The rest of the time, you're not right. So People frustrate me. I don't know if you've noticed that yet or not, Roy.
You get a battle here at the 50 on the
You
5
do.
minute.
Yeah.
You are.
Orb, bounced off the orb. Now it's fighting around the 50. The thing that you did get, you got a little different look here. What happened? Your puts came back. Your volume started going back up. Your call premiums are going back up. So, I mean, that is probably why we're getting this little battle here now. So, one thing that you can say is technical analysis is not always right, but by God, it's right a lot. And it gives you some good ideas of what to do. Right now, I'm not touching anything right now, but
I just am in awe. Like, we watch ES a lot. Obviously, we've dedicated practically our life to it now for the last few years, and I mean, watching this thing move in 1.5 point increments just so naturally. I mean, we are used to quarter 50-cent increments, right? And you're getting 3 times the volatility per tick that we're used to.
But we've scaled back because of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot tell you whenever, like before all this stuff, where I've traded 5 MES and a combine. I would trade 5 ES and a combine in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Your puts are starting to go back up. Let's look at that.
Here's your orb beloved.
Volume dipping. So this might, I don't know if this is going to be enough to break it down or not. I still have all eyes right here. So if we break VWAP and we get a close below VWAP, any test back up, I would look to short.
Trading View has VWAP and orb low pretty much on top of each other. So there's that slight.
Are you looking at ES or are you looking at MES on Trading View?
ES.
Yeah, a little bit, can be a slightly bit different. Let's look, see if it is different. 2450, 2450. I got exactly the same on MES on these two charts. So,
wow, clearly yours is wrong. See, I can talk trash on my witness protection filter.
You damn sure got it on. You just got your voice.
My silhouette. I'm gonna get a light.
Oh, look at here. Look at here. Look at here.
Yeah, breaking down. Here's your test of your VWAP. Broke my VWAP.
Look at here.
Yeah. It's looking more and more like a bull trap that happened this morning.
Howie says that he had just locked 5 accounts on Top Step, 256 each. I'm determined to pass 10 this time, so I actually have to have some conviction.
Nice job.
Perfect. That is the best way to describe it. Yes. Absolutely. Roy's weird. So you're actually darker on the screen than you are on the bottom. I don't know what that's about. Maybe it's my camera. My view. So like you're purposely making yourself darker up here. You have a spotlight. Does LED have a round, one of those round lights? Social media lights?
I need to buy one. Just
turn your flashlight on your phone on, shine in your face where you look really weird.
Yeah, that's what I do.
That did not help much.
No, it didn't, did it?
There you go. Now it's yeah.
Yeah, I gotta do it like this.
Go. I'll send you a link on what you got. It's about social media light.
Yeah. I even did my makeup for you, and can't even see it. 52.26. Little battle here on your VWAP. Little battle here on my VWAP. There's your wick.
What you're looking at, where your VWAP is. It is crazy. It's at 28. Mine's at 28 on Trading View. This is ES though. 24 here. It's a 4-point difference. That's a lot.
That's a lot. Oh, this may get ugly.
CVD's going up, by the way.
Oh, this may not get ugly.
I I don't know what this is going to get. This is very strange. I hate these damn orders popping in now, though. I know that. I'm still looking up there, and they're still 5,200 has about 500 orders flashing in and out nonstop. Boop, 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 boop. Greer, too many countries are dependent on exports to the U.S. Port fees on Chinese ships are not all going to be implemented. They are not all going to be stacked. Okay.
That's bullish.
Any future trade agreements will need to have strong rules to avoid third countries like China from taking advantage of them. Oh, okay. That's not bullish.
That's not bullish.
We're just going to keep this getting. Guys, I don't know. Is he still speaking? He needs to stop. Yeah, they're still. This is going to take a while.
They the Israel news. I don't know if you saw that headline. It's pretty interesting. Netanyahu.
The video distributed office that a nuclear agreement with Iran would be acceptable to him only if included of all Iran's nuclear facilities and dismantling of all equipment. Well, I mean, yeah, okay. That makes sense, Netanyahu. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. We're gonna do the dance, or we're gonna cross.
All up to one man right now, Greer. Oh,
Doing the dance right this second. I need this candle to close. I need this candle to close. Oh man,
she getting ugly.
do I chase this damn thing? It's a combine. Let's wait. Be patient.
Just wait.
You got the
You
call. You got
can
the
get a
call.
retest of your VWAP.
You got the move
I
down.
don't think you're gonna
on
get a
volume.
retest of your VWAP.
I don't know if we're gonna get the retest or not here. You got CBD coming down pretty good now. Finally,
This is looking ugly.
you
This
got
is
volume
looking
just fall off a cliff here on Tide.
Yeah, I mean this is looking like your
Straight down.
this is looking like your future ex-wife. It's not looking good, man.
Future ex-wife's looking really good right now. You're looking at
Up 1,000 on a combine. I got $400 before I could pass it. What do I do? Switch to another one?
sure. Oh my gosh. The last minute of this has been just brutal. All right, look at this now.
Oy. What?
So we might get the bounce in the retest.
Problem is that would be a pretty good wick if it did it.
Well, I'm saying on this next candle. This is one. This is going to be one of those. This one was strong enough. We didn't have the 50% retracement. I don't know what the hell. There was your take there. 2250 could have got down to. Oh my gosh, really? That's 20 points, 15 points. Yeah. Okay. Life sucks when you miss it.
I got a call here in about 15 minutes, so
You suck, Roy.
I know. I mean, you can keep going. It probably won't be a fast one. But.
Nah, we've been on for an hour and a half.
So
I'm not going to
got,
all anyway. So
if you guys got any questions, pepper them in. We got about 10 more minutes left before we got to get off.
don't tell me that was the only bounce I'm going to get.
That was pretty weak.
Yeah,
Calls though. The calls.
CBD's going back up 7,200. Make that make sense. 7,300.
You could get a boomerang thing here, and then rejection at VWAP.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Calls? Calls are ripping. Volume is turning. Oh, lordy.
I'm going to share my screen real quick. Pretty interesting on those volume candles. I introduced them this morning. The fatter the candle, the more volume. But look at this. Look at this like weakness up here when we were trying to move up, and how thin those candles are. And then Big red candle. Bigger red candle. The volume has picked up to the downside. So you can see it kind of was picking up on the green side, started slowing. Big move down, volume picked up on the downside. That was a good entry, and I missed it while I was doing this. I don't like those calls, though.
I don't either. I just did a quick. I did a quick fib on that one candle. Of course, I was wanting to get to the 50% retracement, and it didn't. And then if I would use my rule, that breakdown right there was actually the place to go short at 07. But
Well, remember that target that you were looking for? It looks like it's headed there.
yeah,
Breaks 5,200. It's maybe a fast track to that 5,180.
yeah. I mean, it's almost like I caught it here, right? And I hadn't played any of it, so.
I tell you, these candles are so big, though, man. It's you had the testimony, you had all that stuff. It's really hard, and I mean, hindsight's 20/20 always, but it's really difficult to make the call sometimes on this.
Still could look for. I don't know about that one. There is a strategy where you can play fibs off each candle.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little riskier. What the hell is Led listening to?
I don't know. I can't hear it. I got noise. Wow. It sounds like classical music. Developers, man. They don't like lyrics.
Yeah, they won't let this candle. Oh my gosh.
Well,
I know you guys haven't seen me use fibs much before, but I'm classically trained on fibs too. Since I hear classical music in the background.
let's see. Breaking down. Oof.
Yeah. Oof.
Oof.
We're just going to chill now. Now we wait. I guess we break here. We'll try to get to 50. Mexico's president, the country would reject U.S. military action in Mexico, and it would not resolve anything. Okay.
I guess that's in response to the drone strikes on the cartel.
I guess so. You see the Joy Reid lady, the one that got fired from MSNBC, this big uproar, blah, 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 anything.
Yeah.
Where she said if we were to get into a war with Canada, how badly we would lose. And now everybody's like, you've got to be there. Okay, we see why you were fired, because you were an idiot.
The syrup bombs. It's sticky.
Well, one, we're not getting to a war with Canada. So. We might get into a trade war with Canada, but we're not getting into a war with Canada. Oh, did you see that the European Union, all these tariffs they put out, they excluded Kentucky bourbon? Thought that was interesting. CBD is $8,500 now.
So I saw support at 5,200.
Doing his dance. I just don't. I think the play to do here is nothing right now.
Yeah, no, you can't trust it.
And I think that's what I'm going to do. So we have not had any new questions come through. So I think this is a great spot to call it a day. Roy, what you think?
I like it.
Yeah, All right, guys, boys and girls, we will catch you guys tomorrow on Wednesday. Stay safe, scale down, don't do anything
Trade
crazy.
safe.
Let's all let's have capital trade tomorrow. How about that?
Yeah.
So we will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you all for joining.
All right. Bye, guys.